Hey guys, how are you? So guys, our today's topic is about the septic arthritis. In this video, we will discuss about its definition, causes, symptoms, diagnosis, and also its treatment. So guys, before starting our lecture, if you guys are new to my channel, then please subscribe my channel and click the bell icon. Okay. So guys, let's start by its definition because definition is very important so that we can know what this thing really is. Okay. So guys, before knowing the definition, let's just discuss briefly about this name. What is septic and what is arthritis? If we can just know about its meaning, then we can clearly do its definition as well. Septic means any kind of severe infection. Okay, any kind of severe infection which can be hematogenous, and arthritis is inflammation of joints. Okay, so that's why it is also known as infectious arthritis, because it is a severe infection and it is of the joints, which causes inflammation of the joints. Okay, so that in this way it will differentiate by rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis, because osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis are not infectious. So only this one, if the arthritis is infectious, then we call it septic arthritis. Okay, so what will be its definition? Inflammation of the joints caused by an infectious agent. Okay, so guys, this definition is inflammation of the joints caused by an infectious agent. So guys, now we know about its definition, but now we need to know, as we know that how inflammation is caused. If you guys want a lecture on inflammation, then you guys can comment in the comment section and I will make a video on it. And we need to know what is that infectious agent which is causing it, and how infectious agent is entering the body, because it is not entering in everyone's body, it is only entering in some specific persons. So let's discuss its causes. So now let me tell you, it can be caused by 5 types of bacteria. 5. Okay, 5 types of bacteria. Septic arthritis can be caused by 5 types of bacteria. And what are those 5 types? Streptococcus, Agalactia, and Staph aureus, Neisseria gonorrhea, Staph epidermis, and Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Okay, so now these are the 5 types of bacteria which will cause this septic arthritis. But at one time only one bacteria is causing the septic arthritis. So why is it like that? Why this bacteria affect, and sometimes this one affects, sometimes this one, sometimes this one, sometimes this one? So its reason is that this bacteria will affect a specific type of person, this will affect a specific type there, and all these will affect a specific type of person. Like Staph agalactia will affect the neonates. Okay, it will affect the neonates. Staph aureus will affect children's and adult. Okay, this will affect children's and adult. Neisseria gonorrhea will affect multiple sexual partners. If a person has multiple sexual partners, he is having sex with a lot of persons, then he will develop infection by Neisseria gonorrhea. and staph epidermis will be caused to prosthetic joints. If a person has prosthetic joint, which means the artificial joint, then he will have infection by staph epidermis. And Pseudomonas aeruginosa will be caused in IV drug user. So that's why different bacteria causes to different organism, because if if someone is neonate, staph agalactiae will cause, and staph aureus will cause children and adults, and someone who is doing a lot of sexual activity, then Neisseria gonorrhea will cause him. So this is how it is caused. So now we know that these bacteria will cause it, but we don't know, we must also know that why this bacteria is causing it, on what type of person, because it is not causing all the neonates and not all the adults. So what are those type of adults in which it will cause? So let me tell you here at what type of person it is going to cause. It is caused by hematogenous spread from infection of lungs or skin. Now you can understand this, that it will cause only those person who is having infection of lungs or the skin. Okay, lungs or the skin. So this is an important point. If someone is having the infection of lungs or the skin. And what is the hematogenous spread? Hemato means anything related to the blood, and hematogenous spread means spreading by the blood. For example, this one is a blood vessel and here is my skin. Okay, let me make a diagram. For example, this is a skin and this is the lungs, just a rough diagram. And here is our joints. This is the knee joints, rough diagram. It is not an anatomical diagram, just a rough diagram. And here is the blood vessels going everywhere, coming from heart and then going everywhere, and also to the joints. So if there is some kind of infection in the skin or in the lungs, then the infection will go from here like this and from here, and in this way it will cause it will go to the joint. The bacteria from infection in the lungs or in the skin, it will go to the joints here like this, and it will cause the infection. Okay, so this is the way by which it is causing the infection. Okay, so it is going to cause by hematogenous spread by the infection of lungs or the skin. Okay, if staph aureus is infecting the skin, the lungs, then it will come to the joint by hematogenous spread. But not all the infection, like for example, if you develop a flu, pneumonia or any disease or some skin infection, then you are not going to have septic arthritis. So what are those types of person who is having the septic arthritis by hematogenous spread by the infection of lungs or the skin? Because not everyone is having that. So for example, if my video is watched by maybe 10,000 persons, and out of those 1,000 have the septic arthritis, just for example, it's not serious, only 1,000 have septic arthritis, and out of that 1,000 persons, no out 1,000% have skin infection, for example, and out of those only 10 are having the septic arthritis. So why it is that? What is the special thing in those persons, only in those 10% who are getting the septic arthritis by the skin infection? Now let me tell you, there are 5 things. Okay, 5 things. What are those 5 things which are necessary to have the septic arthritis? Old age. The first is old age. The second is pre-existing joint disease such as rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes mellitus, immunocompromised, and IV drug users. So these are some special people who will develop septic arthritis if they are having skin infection and or the lung infection. Old age, because their immune system is not good. Immune system is not good. And joint disease like rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes mellitus, it is very dangerous. Immunocompromised such as HIV, and IV drug users. So these are the four types of person who will have, five types of person who can have septic arthritis when they will have skin infection or the lung infection. So now, for example, someone is affected by this. So now, how we are going to diagnose it? If someone is affected by it and he comes to you, we know that how we can know that, how we can guess that he is a person with this disease. So now let's discuss its diagnosis. Okay, diagnosis. So guys, how can we do its diagnosis? For diagnosis we must know first what are its causes. Okay, so let's go to the causes first. No, not the causes. We must know about its neither a diagnosis. First we must know about the symptoms. Okay, symptoms are a very important thing. So now, for example, if a person comes to you and he has fever and he has some joint abnormalities. What kind of joint abnormalities? He is having inflammation. And what are the 5 signs of inflammation? His joint will be hot, red hot, okay, swollen, and he will have pain. Okay, so all these 5 things are what? As we know, if you will study inflammation, it is cardinal signs of inflammation. Okay, so these are the cardinal signs of inflammation. So the person will have the cardinal sign of inflammation at its knee or hip joint, because septic arthritis is more at knee joint and hip joint. Okay, so if someone comes to you and he is having inflammation at its knee joint or hip joint, and he is also having fever, and his knee joint is hot, for example, just guess that this one is an abnormal septic arthritic joint and this one is a normal joint, and this one is swollen joint. So when you will touch this joint, then this joint will be cold. Okay, and if you will touch this joint, then this joint will be hot. Okay, so in this way you can consider this joint will be red as well and hot as well. You can just touch both of these and you will feel that this one is hot, and you can see it's red and it is swollen as well, and the person will complain of pain as well. So now there is another thing, that the person who is coming with rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis, he is also having hot joint, red, swollen and painful. So how we can diagnose that it is septic arthritis or osteoarthritis? The first thing is that the person's fever is high. Okay, his fever is high. And what is other thing, very important? Pain at rest and at movement as well. Okay, so this is a very important point. The pain will be at the rest as well and at the movement as well. In the other arthritis, when they move the joint, for example, this is a joint and it is placed like this, joint is like this. When he will move it, then he will feel pain. Okay, and if his joint is like this, then he will not feel pain. But in septic arthritis, when the joint is at rest, then he will also feel pain, and when he is moving, then also he will feel pain. Okay, so now the thing is, and this pain is severe. Okay, remember, this pain is severe. In this, the pain is severe and the fever is high. So that is the main thing of the symptoms, and by that you can do its diagnosis. But now how to do its clear-cut diagnosis? Because what is the main thing? Remember, here were some bacteria. We need to find the bacteria and kill the bacteria. Okay, so now when you have find these signs, and he's having fever, and he's having at knee joint or hip joint this inflammation and fever, then how you are going to do its diagnosis? Its main criteria of diagnosis is synovial fluid aspiration. Okay, you will do the synovial fluid aspiration, and you will take the fluid and you will send the fluid for culture. And what are you going to find in the culture? Okay, what are the findings? First, you will see its appearance, how it is appearance, neutrophil count. You will see neutrophil count, and what else? Glucose ratio. Okay, you will also see glucose ratio in it. Okay, so let's make this chart. First, let me tell you what is the normal number, and then I will tell you the dangerous value. Okay, so what is normal and what is septic? Okay, the appearance for the normal one is clear, the appearance is clear, and in septic arthritis the appearance of the fluid is cloudy. Okay, and the neutrophil count in normal is below 200, but in septic arthritis it is very high. It is more than 20,000. It is too much. And the glucose ratio normally in the synovial fluid is 1.0, and in septic arthritis it will go below 0.25. so this is the first thing that you will find. And what are the other things? You are definitely going to find a bacteria. Okay, a bacteria in the culture, and the raised ESR, and as also raised C-reactive protein. Okay, so these are the things you will find, and you will find the bacteria. And when you will find the bacteria, you will have to kill the bacteria and give some drugs to reduce inflammation, and that is gonna be all. Okay, but for the time when the bacteria is still not found, you will send it for culture. So what are you going to do till that time? You will have to do some treatment. So let me tell you the treatment while the diagnosis is going on. You will start an emergency treatment because it is very painful. Okay, septic arthritis is very painful. So what you guys will do, you will admit the patient, and you will administer flucloxacillin 2 grams IV. Okay, IV infusion 4 times daily. Okay, so this is the main treatment, because flucloxacillin has effect against many types of bacteria, Staph aureus and Streptococcus and Staphylococcus, with everyone. So we will use flucloxacillin for 4 times daily, 4 and 2 gram IV 4 times daily. So this is the main thing. And for example, if you will find, if you think, you suspect that it is Staphylococcus, Staph aureus for example, then what are you going to do? It is better you will just use vancomycin 1 gram IV twice daily. Okay, twice daily. So this is the main treatment. And if you find Neisseria gonorrhea, then what are you going to do? You will use gentamicin 5 mg per kg once daily. Okay, this one is just once, and that one was twice daily. Okay, this one is 5 mg per kg. For example, if someone's weight is 10 kg, then you will administer 50 mg, because 5 mg per kg. Okay, and you will also do aspiration, try for aspiration as well. And once after the diagnosis you have find the bacteria, then what you will do for Staph aureus or Neisseria gonorrhea, you will do this intravenous treatment for 2 weeks, every day 2 weeks. Okay, just doing it for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks you will send the patient home and you will do the same antibiotic treatment for another 2 weeks. Okay, oral treatment, oral therapy, okay, for another 2 weeks. Okay, and after that the patient will be cured. So how much is the treatment, how much time? For 1 month, and the doses must be same at oral as well, but for IVs also like this, and for oral also like this, like for 1 gram vancomycin twice daily, okay, and 5 mg per kg once daily gentamicin, okay, for the oral therapy as well. So for 2 weeks so for 2 weeks you will do the IV treatment, and after that you will send the patient home and you will do 2 weeks oral therapy, okay, and in 1 month the patient will be cured. Okay, cured. Okay, so guys, this was all about the septic arthritis, and I have explained everything in this about its definition, causes. Here was the symptoms, diagnosis, and then the treatment. There is nothing left in the septic arthritis. So guys, if you like my work, then please press the subscribe button and click the bell icon as well. And if you guys want me to make videos on some other lectures, then you can just comment in the comment section. And if you guys want me to do some improvements in my lecture, then you can also comment in the comment section. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. Bye bye, see you.